this nonsense.
Welcome back to Chokitable Media. The ongoing situation in the Nigerian Senate continues to unfold. Recall that Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan brought this issue to the attention of the Inter-Parliamentary Union (IPU) after her 6-month suspension, which followed her allegations of sexual harassment against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. In a twist, female legislator Kafilat Ogbara defended the suspension at the United Nations, claiming it was unrelated to the harassment allegations and instead due to misconduct. On Wednesday, the Senate stood by its decision to suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan during a session with the IPU, asserting that her suspension was not linked to her claims of sexual harassment, but rather to serious misconduct within the upper chamber. Adding her voice to the discussion is Mrs. Donu Kogbara, a human rights activist, writer, and journalist. She expressed her astonishment at the lack of support for Natasha from the other women in the Senate, who instead chose to defend Akpabio. Mrs. Kogbara highlighted that the culture of chauvinism and harassment is prevalent among men across various societal classes in Nigeria and must be addressed immediately. She shared these insights during an interview with Charles Aniagalu on Arise TV's prime-time segment, where they delved deeply into this issue as well as the situation in Rivers State. You can catch the full discussion there. Now let's hear from Mrs. Donu Kogbara. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like and leave your comments below. We'll see you in the next broadcast.
I'm busy. I haven't got time for this nonsense. But then it moved on to sexual harassment. And I thought,
That got your goats, did it?
Well, 2 things I would say about it is, look, most Nigerian men in positions of power, including MAIGARDs at gates, are sexual harassers by nature. I'm sorry.
They're predatory.
They're predatory around women. It's not even funny. At each level, they harass women. A MAIGARD might harass a woman who wants to come and sell puff-puff in the ministry building. A minister or a senator or whoever or governor will trade favors for and help for sex. So that has been the story of my life, and I think most Nigerian women would agree that it's very commonplace.
Well, in the last couple of minutes that we've got, and it's a pity we're running out of time because it's brilliant always talking with you, but I mean, the fact that you mentioned how prevalent this is, I wonder how deep you think the impact of this case will be on that culture that prevails in this country when it comes to sexual harassment of women.
Well, people seem to be more aware of it, more outraged by it. I mean, when I was younger and I used to complain about it, I got very little sympathy. It was like, well, that's just how that's the way they are, the men here. It wasn't the men in the UK were not like this. That's where I grew up and spent the first half of my adulthood. I think there's less tolerance for it now. But there's something that really interests me is why the senior women in the Senate do not seem to be supporting Natasha. I have tried to reach one of them who is a friend of mine, and she hasn't answered me. It's like, why are you not supporting her? Is there something we don't know? But I guess that there's never any excuse for the type of thing that happened, the suspension. It was like a kangaroo court, wasn't it? And I don't know what to say. I don't think that every woman who jumps up and accuses every man should be believed. But it's very difficult to prove who is. I think some women.
But at the same time, they're entitled to have their allegations properly
investigated. Yes. I totally agree.
Thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so you won't miss out any of our latest video.